So I thought it was about time for an update video here. Uh, Currently I'm in my shed. I was able to move my new milling machine into my shed. Currently it's kind of all in bits and pieces here and there. Um, the status of the mill is that I've mainly been working on the main casting here. It's completely stripped of paint. So it's been really cold recently, even less than 10 degrees around here, and my shed is currently about 30 or 40 degrees, and this casting itself is about 35 right now. And the people at Sherwin-Williams, they said that anything above 40 should be fine. It'll just take longer for it to dry since it's colder. So I've got a couple heaters on it, and next couple hours or so, hopefully it'll be warm enough for me to paint it. I got a little block heater on it, big old kerosene heater, and a couple of little electric heaters, so we'll see how that goes. The other parts of the mill are just kind of lying around for now. The other heavy parts anyways. Got the knee, which is fairly small, but it actually is extremely heavy and seems like it works pretty well. But you got the ram, which includes the head. The motor is just sitting off to the side for now. And then I got the table back here, also on its pallet. And they're just kind of sitting around right now. I'll probably start working on those as soon as I finish the casting, or at least get it painted. My plan is to finish up the knee first, put that in the main casting, then do the table, and then do the ram. And so we'll kind of sequentially build everything back onto it. I've been doing a bunch of work on the drive mechanism, the transmission and the motor for the table feed. And you can see here, this is the color I'm painting the mill. This is as close as the people at Sherwin-Williams could get it to the original color. It looks a bit bright here, but it's a little darker in person. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks pretty much spot on to the original color. This is the small, I believe it's a 3rd horsepower motor for the drive mechanism. And then here's the transmission for the table feed. And it's kind of amazing how sturdy and well built this thing is just for being the table feed. It looks like it almost looks like you could drive a small car with it. It's quite impressive, but its paint is all stripped and it's ready to be painted. I just need to give it a couple more cleanings of acetone. Some of the oil leaked out as it was tipped over, so I need to clean that up, and then should be giving it some paint soon. The main electrical control box is upstairs in my house now, curing. This is the 3-phase fuse cutoff housing, and it's completely stripped of paint. I just need to throw some paint on it, and that should be pretty good to go pretty soon here. Just to give you an idea of how this is going to be laid out, here's my American Rotary phase converter. Again, it's not an advertisement, this is just what I'm going to use to run the mill. That's going to end up going over here. It's going to be mounted up on the wall, and it's going to be mounted with that 3-phase cutoff with the fuses. And the mill's just going to go right between these 2 doors here. And it should be a good amount of space for it, and it should work out pretty well. So as you can see, the shed is a bit of a mess right now. I've been doing a bunch of little projects trying to get it a little better. I got a bunch of got 4 LED light strips. They look like big fluorescent fixtures, but they're really nice and bright. They're just kind of temporarily installed. My brother and I are going to get some permits and install some actual outlets for these pretty soon here. Yeah, mostly what we're working on right now is just getting permits for electrical stuff, to run power over to the phase converter. A couple of electrical work I'm going to do, but hopefully, it's hard to think of a time frame for this kind of project, but hopefully fairly soon I'll have a mill here. Now, as I mentioned, it's really cold here in Illinois, so part of the electrical work we're going to do is we're going to install an electric heater. Let's see if I can get some of this light out of here. Probably up in the rafters here somewhere hanging down, probably just above the air compressor. I think that would be a fairly good spot for it. The air compressor is pretty good at circulating air, and that'd be kind of a help boost the fan that the heater would use. So I think that's where it's going to go. And then hopefully we can heat this up a bit more efficiently than a bunch of random little heaters. The Atlas drill press is still looking good. I haven't done any work to it recently. I've been focusing on 2 months ago I was working on fixing up the front of the shed, and then this month I've been working on the mill itself, trying to get the mill into a fairly good situation. Then I'll probably get back to this as soon as I can. One thing that kind of stinks is that the spring in here, if I can get this off one-handed, it actually broke. So I might need some suggestions on how I can fix this. I might be able to heat this up and change the springiness so I can bend it or something. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fix this yet. But for now, there's no automatic return. It kind of just sticks down for now. So I need to look into fixing that. That'll be one of the next projects for the drill press once I get back to it. But I think that's about it for now. Might put in a little video of this thing being painted if it actually gets up to temperature tonight. I am spraying it not with spray paint, I'm using actual industrial paint, so it should be a nice durable finish. It's Sherwin-Williams SureChem, not sponsored or anything, just seems like it's pretty good paint. The guy at the store recommended it pretty heavily. Said it's about as durable as you can get without getting into the epoxy stuff, and I didn't really want to spend $120 on a gallon of paint. So I think it'll. I mean, this isn't a factory or anything. This will be fairly light use. So this is kind of a hobby thing. So I'm sure this paint will be fine for my needs. But I think that's about it for now. Yeah, thanks for watching this little update video. Hopefully I'll have some more interesting videos coming up pretty soon. But really, so far it's really just been stripping paint and prepping for paint, which is pretty boring, so I haven't really put up any videos of this recently, but hopefully we'll get some of this paint done and get doing some more cool stuff soon. But yep, thanks for watching.